Hi and hello everybody, it's Fern. Welcome back to another planty video. Thank you so much for joining me for today's plant tag. I've been thinking lately about how fun it would be to create a tag video, throwing it back old school YouTube. If you're not familiar with what a tag video is, it's basically where creators in a similar niche answer a series of questions so that we can all hear each other's answers. And I don't know, I think it's cute and fun. Hopefully other people will do this as well, but maybe it'll just be me, I don't know. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I feel like the end of the year is the perfect time to do a tag because we can kind of wrap up the past year and maybe look ahead to the new year. So I've come up with 10 planty questions that I'm gonna answer with you today. And yeah, if you are a planty creator, I would love to see you do this video. I'm nosy, so I want to hear everybody's replies and see their plants. Before we get into the planty questions, I want to say a huge thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Y'all know I love Ana Luisa so much. I'm wearing their jewelry literally every single day. A few weeks ago, I showed y'all these necklaces that I've stacked together, and I literally have not taken off this combo of these 3 necklaces because I think that it looks so cute, and it's somehow just worked with every outfit that I've put on. That's the great thing about Ana Luisa. You don't have to take the pieces off. They are water resistant, they're not gonna tarnish, they're also backed by a 2-year warranty, so you know that the quality is good. Not only am I always wearing Ana Luisa, but I also love to gift their pieces. So I wanted to show you a couple of things that I'm going to be gifting. Okay, so first of all, we have this heart necklace, which is so pretty. This is actually the same as my heart necklace that I wear every single day, except this one is in gold. Ana Luisa has a lot of options for the gold girlies. They do also have options for the silver girlies, although like I said before, I've been starting to mix metals a little, which has been fun. But yeah, I just love this so much, and I think that it looks just as beautiful in the gold as it does in the silver version. Next, in this cute little pouch, which I love that Ana Luisa sends their items in nice packaging, I got these, which, oh my gosh, these are so cute. I love them so much. These celestial earrings, I'll probably have to put in different footage, but they're so adorable. They're little hoops, and then one has a moon and one has, is it a star? Yeah, one has a star and one has a moon. And I just think that they're so cute. And this is very much the vibe of my friends. There's so many great items for gifting on their site, and Ana Luisa has affordable prices. Their pieces start at just $39. So you're not gonna be breaking the bank, but you'll be able to give a really nice gift. If you're looking for a gift or you just want to treat yourself, Ana Luisa is running their holiday sale right now where you can get up to 25% off site-wide. It's only for a limited time, so make sure that you go check them out if you are interested. I will have a QR code here on the screen, or you can shop through my link down below in the description box. Thank you so much to Ana Luisa for being a long-term partner of the channel. Okay, now for the questions. So the first question is, what is a plant that you crossed off your wish list in 2025? And I actually had a hard time with this. I guess I didn't get as many plants in 2025 as I did in 2024 because everyone that I would think of, I'd go and look at when I got it and it was 2024. So I'm like, what the heck? But then I was like, wait a minute. I actually got a super exciting wishlist plant that I didn't think I was going to get this year. This is the variegated Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and this was kindly gifted to me from Natasha from Planted in Platinum. This is a plant that I've always drooled over when I see other people have it, but like I said, I just didn't think that it was something that was going to be entering into my collection, but here we are. So I got this as a small plant in June, and I was very nervous about it because obviously I wanted to see this do well. So I ended up potting it up into leca, and this fall it got attacked by aphids, which was really annoying. The aphids, I think from the outdoor garden, they started a population indoors, which is very annoying, and they will just decimate new leaves. So it's really unfortunate to see, you know, the aphid damage on some of the leaves that this plant came out with. However, we have survived the aphids, and this new leaf I'm actually shook by. Like, look at how stunning that variegation is. It's just perfect. Like, what a dream. And we have another leaf down here which is looking quite well also. So I'm really happy that we have moved past the aphids and now I can continue to watch this put out some nice growth. I don't know what my plan is going to be for this one because it's going to need some type of support. If I'm going to do a moss pole, if I'm just going to do a stake, I'll probably just do a stake of sorts because it doesn't, like, I'm not aiming to see the leaves size up on this or anything. It's not really like that type of plant. So yeah, I need to figure it out though because it's starting to really get growing here now. So yeah, but anyways, that is a really exciting plant that I got this year. Okay, the next question is, what is a genus that you want to get more into in the new year? Some of these, the grammar might not be great. A genus that I want to get back into a little bit more is philodendron. I feel like when I first got into plants, philodendron were my absolute favorite. I got a whole bunch of them, and then I think I just got overwhelmed by the amount of philodendron I had because they get big, a lot of them have to climb, so they need moss poles, they end up taking up a lot of space, and they can just be overwhelming. They also grow quickly, so if you don't have a plan of where to put them, then it can become stressful. But I don't know, there's just something about growing a climber that has the potential to give you these really big, luscious leaves. So I'm not necessarily saying that I'm going to be adding a bunch of new philodendron into my collection, but I'm maybe going to be giving the ones that I already have some more attention and maybe getting another like 1 or 2 maximum, because like I said, the space is an issue with these plants. But yeah, they're just so beautiful, and they really are the first, it really is the first genus that like captured my heart and just made me so excited to grow plants because of how jungle-like they can be with the size that they can reach. I also want to continue learning about and honing my orchid care and perhaps getting another orchid in the new year. I have put myself on an orchid ban for now because they really challenge me. Yeah, I'm just sticking with the ones that I have right now and seeing if I can get them healthy again because I do have a couple that are struggling. I have one that's doing really well, my Phalaenopsis adorian, and also my Bulbophyllum has always been my easiest orchid. But yeah, I do want to continue on my orchid journey because I've really been, I mean, have I been enjoying it? I am enjoying it when they do well and when they are flowering, but it's definitely frustrating when they're just croaking on me. Same with carnivorous plants. I want to keep continuing to learn more about pings and nepenthes and other carnivorous plants that are out there because I just think that they're so cool. I would also love to get more into tillandsia or air plants and ways to style them, so that is probably in my future. And then I've also been really drawn to Ripsalis lately, and I blame Charmaine from Unplant Parenthood because she has some really cool Ripsalis. So I would definitely consider adding another like bushy or trailing Ripsalis to my collection next year, but we shall see. I definitely have wish list plants, but I'm not like actively seeking to fulfill a wish list in the same way that I used to be, just because I already have so many plants, as we know. Okay, the next question is, what is your plant care routine in terms of like when do you do things? Do you have any like rituals that go along with that? Do you listen to an audiobook? Do you watch YouTube? Do you have music playing in the background? Do you like candles? Like, what is the vibe? And I put this question in here solely because I'm just so curious at what other people's plant care looks like. I like getting tips from other people and implementing it into my routine. For me, I do the bulk of my plant care, like my watering, especially in the early mornings. I like to wake up pretty early, around like 5 to 6, and I usually read, and then after that is plant care. So I go around, do my watering. If there's any other random things that need to be done, I will also do it early in the morning. For bigger plant tasks that require me like gathering a bunch of supplies, like repotting and stuff like that, I will typically do during the day, either with you guys, or I will set aside, I feel like every few weeks I will do just like a dedicated plant care day, just to do those more like in-depth things. But on a daily and weekly basis, it's usually early in the mornings. I love catching up on PlantTube while I'm doing my plant chores. Otherwise, I will be listening to an audiobook if I have one on the go. And yeah, I typically do, or have like an ambiance room in the background. I'm a big cozy vibe person, of course. So a cup of tea, since I don't drink coffee anymore, which is kind of sad because I used to love coffee and plant chores, but oh well. A cup of tea, or a candle going. I love anything that kind of romanticizes plant chores, because it's not that I don't like doing plant chores, it's just that I'm doing it so often that it's just nicer to make it a whole cozy little moment, you know? And I often get caught up in like taking pictures of my plants and stuff as well while I'm checking in on all of them. What is a plant success that you've had this year? Okay, for me, I feel like a success that I'm really proud of and happy about, but that I haven't really talked a lot about on my channel this year, is how my philodendron SP Silver has grown back out into a beautiful full plant. Okay, my battery died, but in 2023 I had to completely chop this plant up like down to wet sticks because of thrips, which was really unfortunate, and I was so bummed about it because not only was it huge and beautiful, but I was also growing it up a pole, and this plant is typically a crawler, so I wasn't sure that I was gonna be able to replicate that again if I ever had to start this plant over. So a lot of 2024, it was in propagation / getting potted up and getting reestablished. And then this year, it has really been climbing up the pole again and pushing out these huge pillowy leaves. And it just makes me so happy to see that this plant has really made its comeback. This is a new leaf that just hardened off. Look at how shiny and beautiful that is. I love this philodendron because it's very easygoing and it doesn't, did I even say what this is? It's philodendron El Guapo, or SP Silver it used to be called. This one is really easygoing, I find, plus it likes low light because it will bleach if you give it too much light. So to keep it this bluey green kind of hue, it really doesn't get a ton of natural light. It lives up high on the wall, and it loves it up there, honestly. But I'm just so glad that it's climbing again and that it's doing so well, because it sucks when you have to start over with one of your favorites and you don't know whether they are going to look the same as they once did. But this year, this one has really just come into its own again. Next, a plant failure this year, which I'm sure that we all have several. For me, this has been my year of failing with orchids, or maybe this is my second year of failing with orchids. I don't know, but Phalaenopsis, I don't know why the heck. My first orchid that I really was growing seriously was my Bulbophyllum longissimum, and that one is just so easy. You don't have to worry about crown rot or anything. You can just water it normally, and it blooms for me every spring. It's just such a breeze. So going from that to Phalaenopsis, I was just not prepared for the learning curve, because you have to make sure that water is not getting in the crown or else that will rot. I have to get used to the watering requirements and keeping an eye on what the roots are looking like and everything. So yeah, it's definitely been a challenge for me. This bronze, wait, is that what this is called? Bronze Maiden, right? I don't know why that just like sounded wrong for a second. Oh yeah, the tag is literally in there, Phalaenopsis Bronze Maiden. This one was, I've already killed one, and then this one was really going downhill, but it somehow has had a comeback and put out this little pup with these two leaves here. So that one is doing okay, but my Phalaenopsis Art Nouveau, I cannot say the same for. Same thing, this crown is like completely dead. So I was hoping that it would also put out a pup, and I know people have told me that this is potted in way too big of a pot, so like I'm learning, now I know these things, but I just haven't changed it out of here. I think I just accepted this as being a goner, but it might be able to be saved yet, so maybe I should take it out and clean up the roots and everything and see if I can save it. But it's not done anything for a long time. It's just had this one leaf hanging on for dear life. But yeah, orchids are definitely something that I am in progress with learning about. And I just wasn't expecting them to be that difficult, but it seems very different from the rest of my plants for whatever reason. And then another kind of plant fail is my Syngonium chia pens variegated. I feel like every year I have this happen where a variegated plant either reverts on me or it goes completely variegated, and then I end up just losing that plant eventually. A couple of years ago, this happened to me with my Monstera adansonii variegated. And what else did I have that was variegated? Florida Beauty. Philodendron Florida Beauty. This year, it is the Syngonium chia pens variegated that I'm having this issue with. As you can see, it is going completely variegated, and that's what happened to me with the mother plant. I chopped it up. A lot of the propagations didn't take, and the ones that did are also going all variegated. So I'm just like, what the heck? I'm obviously still gonna keep growing this and see if maybe I get lucky with the next leaf. I don't know, but I love the chia pens variegated so much, so I just wish that it would smarten up and give me some nice even variegation. This isn't so much a fail on my part as the other ones are. It's just more of an unlucky thing, I guess, but yeah, definitely notable for this year. Okay, next we're talking about plant trends. So what is a plant trend prediction that you have for 2026? I think that we're gonna continue to see plant collections trending towards anything that is low maintenance. So I know a lot of people are over moss poles at this point. I think we're gonna continue to see that. I think that the houseplant community, houseplant hobby community got really burnt out over the past couple of years. Just with collections getting out of hand and like everything that comes along with plants that makes it stressful, like pests and stuff. Like there's a lot of downsizing happening, a lot of talk about burnout and stuff. So I think that that is really going to influence what the next year looks like. I think we're going to see a lot of plants that are kind of like, they don't need a lot of extra things. They don't need staking. Like this could be things like Marantas, Aglaonema, Dracaena. I feel like people are really going to see the value in that after growing plants that require a lot more care and maintenance. I also think terrariums, because that's pretty much like self-sufficient once you set one up. I think that that's going to be something that we see more of. Maybe succulents, fun succulents, because those are very low maintenance as well. A plant genus that I've watched get really popular over the last year or so that I think is going to continue to be popular in 2026 is begonias. I feel like a lot more people are getting into begonias, and there's also some really cool variegated ones coming out. Like we've had the Ginny Galaxy, that's been popular for like the last couple of years. Same with the Snowcap variegated. But I especially think that Begonia maculata variegated is going to be huge in 2026 because we are seeing more of them on the market now. The prices are coming down, and I think that they're going to continue to do so. And I think that that is just such... Begonia maculata is a beginner level begonia, I would say. So I think the easiness of it and like the point of entry being accessible combined with how stunning the pink variegation is on that plant is just going to make it a huge wishlist plant for 2026. And then I think we're going to be seeing a lot of the same, like dark anthurium being really popular and stuff like that. Where do y'all think that Hoya fall right now? Do you think that they are rising in popularity, or do you feel like people are kind of over them? Because I feel like I haven't seen a lot of Hoya hype lately, but I don't know. Maybe that's just been what I'm seeing. Let me know what you think about Hoya though. Do you think that they're going to be popular next year, or do you think that people are kind of over Hoya? Next question, what season do you find the most challenging for plant care? Now, typically I would say summer, because you have to deal with the heat, watering more often, and like heat waves and stuff like that. If any of y'all remember when I first moved into this house and had my first experience with having south-facing, like big south-facing windows that actually like heat up the house and bring a lot of light in, I was fighting for my life trying to keep this plant collection watered. I remember just feeling like I was constantly watering and I couldn't keep up. But then I switched to my electric waterer, and that completely changed my life. So now I'm actually able to stay on top of watering really easily, which is great. So I've almost like flipped, because now I feel like winter is presenting more challenges to me because I've become more of an overwaterer than an underwater, which I never thought I would see the day for that. But I do find that like I get lazy with pulling out the nursery pot to see if there's already water in the bottom of the cache pot, which there often is, and I just go ahead and water. I could get away with that in the summer when it was hot and the water was not sitting for as long, like the plant would use it up really quickly or whatever. But now I'm finding that my plants are not happy just sitting in too much water, so I'm gonna need to remedy that real quick. But yeah, and also temperatures, like it's cold here, obviously. I live in Canada, and we have very gloomy winters, so it's very dark in here and the temperature is low, so I feel like winter is definitely my biggest challenge now that I am not an underwaterer. Next question, what plant pest do you struggle with the most? If you have been watching my channel over the past couple years, then you probably already know that my answer is gonna be mealybugs. I hate mealybugs. I have never had a harder time getting rid of a pest before. I think that I've had a mealybug issue for like 3 years now. And I remember when I first experienced mealybugs, because I didn't actually have them for the first few years of collecting plants. It's difficult to imagine a time where they were not here in my home, but I didn't. And I remember someone telling me that when you first get mealybugs, you're never gonna get rid of them. Like, you just have to accept it. And I was like, what? That's crazy, because I had never experienced that before. Like, I would get a plant pest and then I would eradicate it, whether it was spider mites or thrips or whatever. But with mealybugs, literally, I don't know where they come from. I will treat all my plants, I will do beneficials, whatever it is, and they will still just be popping up, and it drives me crazy. So I've had to just accept that it is what it is, and I can just do the best that I can. Also, we don't have systemic available here in Canada, so yeah, that definitely adds to the challenge of getting rid of them. Thrips is definitely a pest that I'm very scared of. I've only had it a couple times, but I went like serious about getting rid of them both times, and I was able to. So that's no longer, like, that would have been my most feared plant pest in the past, but now it's definitely mealybugs, because they are just so persistent. They can hide out in tiny crevices that you can never get at, and yeah, it's just a little bit of a nightmare. What is your top wish list plant for 2026? Now, I could make a whole wish list video, and I may, but like I said, I'm not like actively seeking bringing a lot of new plants into my collection, but if I had to choose one to be at the top of my wish list, it would probably be the variegated maculata. I already love maculata, so of course the variegated one is just a dream. So I'm very happy to see that they're more available these days, and we'll see if I end up getting one. Also the Alocasia longaloba purple something, the one that Claudia has, hers is just absolutely incredible, and that plant has been on my wish list ever since, but you can't really find them, which is unfortunate, at least where I am. But yeah, like I said, I could make a whole wish list video. I think that wish list videos are fun just to like look at beautiful plants and see what other people like. Even though I probably won't be getting a lot of plants next year, she says. We'll see what actually happens. Okay, and then the last question is, what is your favorite plant of 2025? And I think that my answer has to be Hoya polyneura. It has just been her year. That Hoya has done so incredibly well. It's grown so much this year. I gave it a nice repot, and it's been so happy since that as well. I did a whole dedicated video to the Hoya polyneura. If you want to go check that out after this video, I talk a lot more in depth about it and its care, and I also show the other 3 Hoya polyneura varieties that I currently have in my collection. Oh, and it bloomed for me for the first time this year. So yeah, it's just been an absolute dream, and I never thought that I would have a polyneura as full and as beautiful as the one that I do have. So I'm so grateful for that, and it just has to be my favorite of the year. But I will also be making I'll probably do like a top 10 of my favorites of the year later this month. That is it. That's all the questions. If you are a planty content creator, please do this tag. I would love to see your answers. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring. I will have them linked down below, or I'll pop up the QR code one more time here on the screen. You can get up to 25% off site-wide right now. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.